guys? I think we'll get rolling here, and we are going to record this call so that if coaches, if you have people that you don't see here quite yet, you'll be able to get a link for the recorded call. We are so excited to have you, each of you here. Our team, many of us are people of faith, and so if you are here, you've been prayed for to be here if it's right, and to just get all your questions answered as we each of us talk tonight. We're excited that you're here. The beauty of this is, like I just said, I literally can smell myself right now because I just got done working out, and you don't even know that, right? Slap a little lipstick on, pull the hair up top. It's like the beauty of coaching. So we have a really awesome night, just hopefully about 30-40 minutes planned for you guys. You're going to hear some of our stories. You're going to hear whether or not this is a pyramid scheme. You're going to hear about income, about what we do, how we make it work as full-time moms and full-time employees, and just some of the benefits that some of us have been experiencing lately. So Jess Fasola is going to start with her story. She is the leader of the Fearless Empire, and she is a 15-star diamond, which means nothing to you guys because you don't know the jargon yet, but she is the only person in Minnesota that has that title, and she is our fearless leader, breaking through for all of us. So please welcome her. She's going to share with us her story of becoming a coach.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess. Hey, guys. How is everyone? I am so stoked to be able to share with you guys tonight. And we're pretty casual here, like Jess said, you know, like she was just saying, like, just slap on some lipstick, call it a day. The truth is that you guys are probably going to identify with a lot of us because we're just like you. We are, you know, moms, some of us are bartenders, waitresses, nurses, worship leaders. There is a whole range of different kinds of occupations that we have and where we've come from. And so what's so cool is that in order to be a coach, you really don't need to have any sort of certification or degree. You just need to be a really good encourager and love health and fitness, and love really beyond that. Just love helping people and be, just be somebody that wants to be in their corner. And I'll go ahead and just share with you guys a little bit about my story real quick. I basically gained 50 pounds with my son. So with Isaiah, who is now 3, and then 10 weeks ago, I had a little girl named Kira. And with Isaiah, I gained about 50 pounds. I was miserable. I have always, you guys probably at some point of your lives maybe relate to that. I don't know. But anytime you just feel like not good in your skin, it's just not a fun feeling, right? And so I was watching my coach, and finally I just asked her what the heck she was doing to lose weight because she had lost 30 pounds. And I ended up doing the 21-day fix in Shakeology and losing 9 pounds and 11 inches my first round. And I was a worship director at a church. And so I was up in front of people. So they watched me gain this weight, and then they started to watch me lose weight. And people were curious, you know, what are you doing? And what I love about what we get to do is that it's healthy. It's not a crash diet. It's a lifestyle. And so I was able to really back that and feel good about that because I have done crash diets in the past. I was like the bomb at them. I mean, I literally loved crash diets because I would do them all the time, but then I would gain all the weight back. And so at the same time as this was going on and I was losing this weight, I loved my job. Like I said, I was a worship director at a church, and I loved my job. Great church. But my son was 1 year old at the time, and he was constantly going, no, mommy, no church, when I would pick him up from daycare and then go back to church because I was never done at my job. And I started to feel like I really needed to make him my number one ministry. Him and my husband, my firefighter husband, my number one ministry. I needed to be there. I needed to be present. And so I started to pray about an opportunity. And at the same time, I had people start to come to me wanting to know what I was doing, like I said. So this kind of just started to go hand in hand. But like many of you on this call, you might think about coaching and it scares the crap out of you. And to be honest with you, it scared me. I was totally afraid of what we do, like helping people with health when like I'm a curvy girl, like what does that look like? I'm not a fitness model of any kind, but guess what? A lot of people on our team aren't. We just are passionate about helping people and meeting them right where they're at, right where we're at. And a lot of us are on our journeys too. So basically, I went to an event where I heard more about coaching from a leader that really talked about her faith too, and I connected with it. And I was terrified, like I said, but I decided to be fearless in my actions and invite people and go all in. And so long story short, I will say, guys, the first time I was on the phone with a customer, I was like literally shaking. It was so scary for me. But again, I was fearless in my actions. Every time I thought about this opportunity and inviting people to it, number one, I believed in it because I knew that it worked. And number two, I thought about my family. I thought about being able to be home with my son, being able to be there for my family, help him grow up and not be away all the time. And it drove me to do my absolute best in this. So 6 months later, I ended up doubling my full-time 50-hour income. And I will say, guys, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Everybody goes at different pace. And some of I went very fast in this. Some of my coaches that have not gone as fast are some of my top earners. So it doesn't necessarily matter what pace you go, but hear this, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And everybody's like, oh, thank goodness. But then they all want to get rich quick, and that's not really how it works, right? So remember that. It takes patience, it takes time. And I went into this knowing that usually when somebody starts a business, it can take 3 to 5 years to get it started. It can take 3 to 5 years to even break even. Thank goodness Beachbody isn't like that, right? But at the same time, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And so I kind of look at my coaching journey like a 4-year degree in college in a sense. I've been in it for 2.5 years now, and I know that I'm still learning and growing, and our team is building, and it's just a process of learning like you would in school in a sense. And so in 6 months, I doubled my income. In 24 days, I became a diamond coach. You guys don't know what that means, like Jess said. But it was a huge milestone for me in my business. And then I went on to 2-star, 7-star, 10-star, and then 15-star in 23 months. So we are the second fastest growing team. Everybody on this Zoom is a part of this amazing team that makes up the second fastest growing team in the company. We are a 2-time elite team. So we really put our heart and soul into what we're doing, because even though you don't know what that means, it pretty much sums it up by just saying we absolutely love helping other people. And so that's our vision. None of us wanted to be salespeople. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really passionate about sales. I am passionate about helping people get the right tools to succeed so that they're not the girl in the dressing room crying when her jeans don't fit, because I've been there. And I hate seeing other women suffer or feel not good enough or not worthy enough when I know that we are, and that we have a God that loves us so much. And I just want to be a part of that and sharing that hope. And that's really where our team comes from. So this is an incredible opportunity to love on other people, to serve other people, and also put your family first. God first, then your family, right? And so it's such an amazing blessing to be a part of. This group is an amazing blessing to be a part of, which you will hear from some incredible coaches tonight. I can't wait for you to hear from them. Like Jess said, I think we all went into this, is this some kind of scam or some kind of scheme? Or is this how do they actually make money? How does this work? We're going to talk about that tonight. And then we're going to let you guys ask questions and leave it all on the table. Okay, so don't be afraid or be shy. And if you are, ask your coach when it's over if you don't feel comfortable asking in the group, okay? They're here for you. We're here for you. We're excited for you. And here's the deal. If you're supposed to be on this team, you will be. And if not, that's okay. So just no pressure. Tonight, just sit in your PJs, listen, see if this is for you, and then pray about the opportunity, because if it scares you a little bit, you're probably in the right place. Successful people get uncomfortable. And so I know that I have grown so much on this journey. It's changed my prayer life for sure, but it's changed me as a person for the better in so many ways. And so I hope you guys just enjoy tonight and hearing from everybody and ask as many questions you can at the end. All right, guys, I'm going to hand it over to whoever's next to share. Jess, you can go ahead and introduce whoever's next, but I'm excited to be here with you guys and just to hear from you too.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Claire is up next. She's going to talk about if we are a pyramid scheme. So take it away, Claire.
I have the honor to talk about one of my favorite questions. And I became a Beachbody coach in last October. And the very first thing I did when I signed up as a coach was I looked up, is Beachbody a pyramid scheme? I Googled it. And I went looking to find answers to, I wanted to find out if it was or not. And I didn't find anything. The answers about the coaching program, it was more people either had a really bad experience with a multi-level marketing company or an illegal pyramid scheme, or they were honestly just a little bit misinformed. And that's kind of where I came in, is I found that I was totally misinformed on what a pyramid scheme actually was. And so I looked up what a pyramid scheme is, and I'm going to read you the definition. A pyramid scheme is which an individual pays for the right to recruit additional persons into the scheme, who in turn receive the same right to receive profits from recruiting others. So what that means is there's no product or service transferred between people. So you're getting paid to recruit people into the scheme, and there's no product or good being transferred. So clearly that's not Beachbody, because we do have products that we are selling to our customers. We have no inventory that we have to have at our house. Thank God, because I live in an apartment, so I have no clue where I'd store it. There is no payment for recruiting in Beachbody. There is the Beachbody is all about its products go to customers. So kind of what helped me visualize it is think about any company, think about Target, think about Beachbody, think about the government. Every company is kind of set up like a pyramid. It's true. You have the CEO at top, you have the CFO, you have the COO, you have the HR department, and your team trickles down. It's the same as Beachbody. We have a CEO, we have a COO, we have a chief legal officer, and so on. So yes, it is set up like a pyramid, but it is not a pyramid scheme, because pyramid schemes are illegal. And the best part to me about Beachbody is it didn't set out to be a network marketing company or a multi-level marketing company. Those two terms kind of go together. They started back in 1998 as infomercials. Some of you may have seen any Beachbody program infomercials. Now when they come on, I'm like, hey, I know them. And so they started out as nowhere near going close to a multi-level marketing company. But that's where we are right now. And they still are doing infomercials. So Beachbody, becoming a Beachbody coach, just kind of like Jess, what she just said, is not a get-rich-quick scheme at all. It takes hard work. It takes effort. And it definitely takes time. Of course, I would love to be making more money to go on vacations, but it's based on my work and my effort. And so I grow as a team, and as my challenge groups grow, that is how my income is going to grow, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later. But really, overall, what network marketing is it is just having a company's products being sold in means of a relationship referral and direct selling is basically what it is. And I found that really helpful when I was first becoming a coach, to learn those answers, because I was nervous because you hear so many people's bad experiences with different companies. And like Jess said, we're all in this to help others. And really, I know these products work, and I'm so excited and honored to be a Beachbody coach, that if anybody has any questions about it, I'm happy to answer them, as well as I'm sure your coach would be. Jess, off to you.
Awesome. I think the piece too that I love is that once Beachbody became they started as an infomercial company, and then what they saw is that in the forums, remember forums? It was like back in the MySpace era. People were commenting and encouraging each other under these forums and sharing their results and sharing their tips. They were coaching one another in these forums, and Beachbody took notice of that and saw how people that were being encouraged and held accountable and in it together as a team, they were more successful in their weight loss journey. They were becoming more confident because they were completing their programs. They were becoming stronger. And that is when they merged Beachbody with a multi-level marketing or an MLM format, because they saw it being a way to best serve their customers and to get their customers the results, instead of buying something off an infomercial and keeping it in a box until like 6 months later, like we've all done, right? So instead, they have coaches that advocate for these products that say, yes, these work. You have to open that box. You have to join me. We're going to do it together. It's going to be great. You're going to lose whatever amount of weight you want to lose. You're going to tone up and you are going to feel amazing. And that is where that trickle-down effect comes of, yes, we are an MLM company, but we are set up to serve our customers and our coaches. One of my coaches, Annika, is going to share next about Shakeology, and if in fact our entire purpose is to be salespeople.
Can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. Okay, I have earbuds in and I wasn't sure if they were working. Hi guys. My name is Annika and I started coaching, I either signed up in August or September of 2016. So I've been coaching for a little while now, and you'll hear more about my coaching story as I talk about Shakeology and sales, whether I am in sales or not. So I started in July. I emailed Jess, actually Facebook messaged her, and I started because I wanted to lose some weight. I am a mom of 3 kiddos, and I've been wanting to lose kind of these last 10 pounds for so long. I had already lost about 10 the year before, but the last 10 just weren't going anywhere. And can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I had some interference. I had pretty much given up. I had sized my wedding ring up and just kind of thrown in the towel and like decided this is my mom bod and it's fine. And just kind of went on my merry way. But circumstances and a really bad health crisis with migraines and some digestion issues, and some really bad reoccurring depression and anxiety attacks were kind of the impetus for me reaching out to Jess. I was desperate. And I realized later that it wasn't just about these 10 pounds. It was about much more than that. I was super lonely. I was frustrated with my life. And I had been watching Jess share about Shakeology and how much it was helping her. And so I planned just to do it for a month. I messaged her and I was just going to do Shakeology for a month and let it kind of kickstart my journey. And then kind of do the rest on my own. I was a runner and ate pretty good. So I felt pretty confident that if I just got this kickstart, I would do it. So I felt like the cost was a little bit much, but I decided I could do it for a month. And so I just jumped all in. The first week I started my challenge group, I actually got a super bad cold. And when I get sick, historically, like since I was a little kid, my illnesses just like hang on forever and ever. And so I was really discouraged. I couldn't even work out. I'd spent all this money. So I just did my Shakeology for the first few days. And I totally kicked the cold I don't remember how many days it was, like 3 or 4 days. And I was like astounded. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, this has got to be Shakeology. I haven't changed anything else. What's going on? The other things I started to realize as I was able to work out and keep using Shakeology, my Shakeology was so filling. I was replacing a meal. I was doing Shakeology for my morning meal. I'm pretty much always a morning workout girl. And so I just have my Shakeology after that. So it was my breakfast, and I couldn't believe I wasn't even hungry till lunchtime. We've all done other shakes, and I was starving. I could never meal replace with them. I just couldn't believe how much better I was feeling, and it was hard to even pinpoint what was feeling better. I was sleeping better though. I had more energy, I had less cravings, I had mental clarity. I had also been seeing a functional medicine doctor and a Chinese medicine doctor for a long time to deal with this laundry list of issues I have, because I have a long history of health stuff. And so I was actually spending a lot of money every month to see him, to be tested, to get on his whole food supplements. And most recently I'd been seeing him because I just couldn't lose this weight. And when I was working out, I was feeling like crap afterwards. So it turns out that Shakeology was what I needed. It wasn't a scam. It wasn't just this protein shake. But my Shakeology was what my body needed. So then came month 2, and I was in love with Shakeology. I had lost 5 pounds, so I was halfway to my goal. And I had found this incredible community. So I figured out a way to squeeze out that extra money for my next month's budget, and I jumped in again. And then I just realized more and more how much Shakeology wasn't a weight loss drink, that it was a whole food nutritional drink that's packed with vitamins and minerals. My body was feeling better and losing weight because it was getting what it needed first. The adaptogens, the phytonutrients, the probiotics, the digestive enzymes, it wasn't just a label they slapped on the outside of the bag. It really is in there. And it's in whole food form. No chemicals that are created in a lab. I just couldn't believe it. My migraines and my stress were decreasing. My depression and anxiety was decreasing. And my life was just overall better. I was baffled. I realized that kind of maybe what I was searching for wasn't just to lose 10 pounds, but what I really needed was some good nutritional support. So I work at a nonprofit. I work at a church. So I don't make a lot of money. My family and I, we have a pretty tight budget. My husband is a police officer, so he doesn't make a lot of money. And neither of us are moving up the corporate ladder. So we have 3 kids. We are for sure middle class. We drive old cars. We rent a small townhome. I mean, you get the idea. I'm average all the way around in every way. But I was beginning to see the incredible value of this product. I had started to be able to kind of adjust my grocery budget because I was meal replacing. And I just really started to make some sacrifices because the value of what this was bringing to my life far was outweighing the cost and the sacrifices I was having to make. And I was kind of sharing some of this within my group. So Jess approached me and she's like, you should start coaching. And I was like, nope, not for me. I have a full-time job. I love what I do. I feel fulfilled with it. And I work full-time. I have 3 kids. My husband has a crazy schedule. There's no way to fit this in. So I just said no. And then I said maybe. And then I said maybe, but can we talk about it? But I hate selling stuff. And then I was like, is this a gimmick? But then I finally decided, okay, I'm going to do it just to get the discount and to offset my shakes, because that was another way that I could make this work. But I was super afraid. I was afraid I was going to turn into one of those girls that harassed all her friends to have house parties. I didn't want to sell something. I didn't want to make my Facebook feed all about this new fad diet thing that I was doing. And I was really afraid of what people would think if I was going to kind of be public about what was going on. But there was no doubt in my mind how much I was loving this community, Shakeology, and what was going on. And as it turns out, I'm not a salesperson. I don't have to go around trying to get people to buy things. Here is what I do as a coach. I share. I let people watch what I'm doing. I invite with no pressure or hard feelings. I care about people. I ask people questions. I offer help and hope. I run challenge groups. I encourage other girls just like me who feel stuck and hopeless and alone. I learn. I listen to books and read books. I tune into some personal development calls. I work out and drink my shake pretty much every day. And that's honestly what makes me a coach. I get to offer women like me the tools that work and a group of people who will support them the whole way. So I just wanted to leave you with this one quote that has been impacting me for about the last 2 years. And it's from Brene Brown.
Hey, babe. I can't get no stinking sound today.
And it is vulnerability.
Yeah, I've gone in and out and closed the whole app and restarted 3 times.
Hey,
I have
I'll
it on
pause you for
mute.
a second, Annika.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if everyone knows how to mute. If you go to the bottom left.
Jess, I
yours.
just muted. I can mute everybody.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
I just muted her. And if Annika, if I do anybody that's speaking, if I have to do mute all if somebody pops on again, just go ahead and unmute yourself if you're speaking.
Okay, perfect.
No worries. I was just going to leave you guys with this one quote from Brene Brown, and it's been impacting me pretty a lot in the last year and a half, 2 years. And I was listening to one of her TED Talks a while ago. But a lot of us, I think, are probably on this call or have said yes to a challenge group or having a conversation with someone or maybe just interested because we want some kind of change in our life, whether it's emotional or spiritual or physical, or maybe you're not even sure. But I love this quote from Brene Brown because it tells you kind of exactly what to do. She says, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. And honestly, that is, I think, the best thing, the most impactful thing for me and the most impactful thing for the people that I serve is being vulnerable. And I'm not saying share all your dirty laundry on the internet. I'm saying just be honest about what's going on in your life and give people the ability to just see in a little bit. And that's what's going to bring the change that you're looking for, either as a coach or as a challenger, and in pretty much every area of your life. So I just challenge you to say what's true and let someone in a little bit, and you'll find the change that you're looking for. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. All right, next up we have Chelsea, and she is a mom of 1.75 babies. She is my neighbor, actually, and she works full-time as a speech therapist in the middle school. And so I know a lot of you might be in the same place. Where the heck am I going to fit this in if this is an avenue I want to go down? And Chelsea will probably say it takes some figuring out and getting in a groove, but she's proof that it can be done. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you make it work, Chelsea.
Sure. Okay, so I started coaching in December 2015, so a little over a year and a half ago. After I had been kind of a challenger in Jess's groups since May 2015, after I had my son. She had just asked about joining the challenge group, and I finally said yes, and then absolutely just kind of like fell in love with the process and my results and just everything that it was doing for me, and not just physically, not just shedding the baby weight. It was more about just finding kind of this light in my life that I didn't really know was missing almost. So as I kind of progressed through my kind of journey, I mean, people were asking me, like, what are you doing? Like, you look great. Like, what's up? What are you drinking? You know, when I would have my shakes. And I started to feel like I was holding this like secret, almost like, oh my gosh, I have to like tell these people, like they need to experience this too. And so I started having kind of this tug at my heart, like, you need to share this. Like this is almost selfish of you to not share it. And so I kind of just not randomly, but I just told Jess, like, I think I want to start a challenge group, because I just had people who were interested in kind of doing it. So I'm like, why? I mean, obviously they could join a challenge group with Jess, but I'm like, I should take the lead here. Like I know what to do. I know the programs. I know this works. I believe in it. So I started my own challenge groups and kind of started my coaching journey. Of course, on my mind, it was like, oh my gosh, this is one more thing I'm adding to my plate. Like Jess said, I also am a speech language pathologist and a new mom and wife and just running a house. It's like, oh my gosh. And I knew about myself that I'm like a total yes girl. Like if you ask me to do something, or if I can come to something, like I'm always like, yes, I will come, because I truly want to, and I want to help other people. And the first thing I kind of learned was that I can be a yes girl, but I also need to be okay with prioritizing my yeses. And so that helped me kind of make room on my plate for coaching. I also was a soccer coach and coached kind of club soccer and at the high school, at my school. And I really enjoyed that, but it required me to be away from home. And that was really hard with, a 1-year-old. And so I knew that this coaching could kind of replace that almost with me being at home. And so I decided to say no to coaching soccer and yes to kind of the health and fitness coaching. So there's been kind of a few, four things that I have really felt like that have helped me kind of balance both full-time job as a speech therapist and coaching. And so that's what I'm going to kind of share with you guys. And so the first thing that I kind of already touched base on was just prioritizing your yeses to your commitments. Make sure that your yeses to things kind of keep you moving towards your goal and keep you kind of focused on your why. Because then you know that yes is going to evolve and help you grow. I also use, so there's something called the power hour that you learn about as a coach. And I don't really have a power hour in my day. So I have to have these things called power pockets almost. And I've kind of learned about them through some of our trainings, and that's really what ends up working for me. So I find, 4 or 5 pockets of time, whether it's 15 or 20 minutes, to kind of dedicate to my business. I usually, like one of those pockets of times is in the morning. Yes, I get up super early, not only to work out, but just to like connect with challengers, think of whether it's a post or just follow up with messages. So that's usually one time, another time at lunch, another time right after work before I get my son from daycare, and then usually kind of a little bit of a longer chunk in the evening if we don't have plans, when I'm just hanging out with my husband while he's watching his sports. So again, those power pockets need to be really intentional though, because you only have so much time. So I structure them very similar to a power hour of time, but once I kind of got my groove down, it really made a difference in making it feel manageable. The other, and this one I think is probably the most important, is finding ways to kind of blend your work lives together. And I'm not saying complete one job at another job. What I'm saying is to kind of use your work environment as like your platform to connect with people. If you feel like you struggle with posting stuff, be confident in your face-to-face interactions then. People are going to be asking you, like, what are you drinking? What are those colored containers you keep bringing your food in for lunch? Or like if you bring, I know one thing for us, it's like our treat days and our luncheons. I usually try to bring something that is a healthier version, or just something that I can share with people that's like, and then they ask, well, where'd you get the recipe? And it's like, from this cookbook called Fixate. Like, so there's so many ways to connect with people and put your business at the forefront without like selling. Again, kind of talking about the sales part. Like, I don't have to sell because I'm just sharing my life with people and offering solutions to people who are talking to me about, either problems that they are struggling with or kind of curious about, or, they have the gym membership, but they never get to the gym. And so, yeah, blending kind of those lives for me has really been helpful and just making me more confident in my conversations face to face with people. And then the last one is just leaning on your teammates for support. I would have never gone into this if I had to do this alone, because again, I wouldn't be able to manage it at all. Our team of girls are so awesome, whether I have a question about, something about the business, or just need some support like emotionally or just motivation wise, or just need a little insight on something. My team, Buff Dynasty, has always been there. So, and I'm so thankful for them. And we're really fun. So not only is it a business thing, but like we know how to have fun together, and we get together for certain events and just time. We went and got our nails done together one time. And so again, it's just another community of people that are really putting a spotlight on my life, which I'm super thankful for. So if you have questions saying yes to coaching because you just feel like your plate's already too full and you have a full-time job and you have all these things going on at home, like I totally get it. But if your why for coaching is big enough and important enough to you, you'll make time. You'll figure it out. And it's a process, but you will be able to do it for sure. So I encourage you to say yes if you have that tug at your heart, like I did. And it's been a really great thing for me in my life and my family. So thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Chels. Yeah, I had to tell her to stop sending me people because she could be getting paid for the people she was sending me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, here's one.
Thanks, Chels.
Yeah.
All right, Amber is going to talk next. She has some really exciting news coming up for this summer, and she's just going to share a little bit about her consistency over the last year plus and what that has resulted in her life.
All right. Hi, you guys. Actually, a lot of the things that I thought I was going to touch on tonight have kind of already been covered. I guess that's what I get when I'm going towards the end of the list tonight. But Chelsea actually made a really great segue for me. One of the last things that she mentioned was about your why. And that's how I want to open up my little part tonight. And you might not even have a clue what we mean by your why. And so I want you to think for a minute, and you can just think. You don't have to say it out loud tonight, but think about what that thing is, the thing that just fills your heart with so much joy, satisfies your soul, the thing that you would just do anything to make it possible, to make it come true. Whatever that reason is, that makes you do what you do, that is your why. So I'm going to share with you my why and how this has impacted my whole business. I decided right from the get-go when I was a new little baby coach that I wanted to be present every single moment, blessing or cursed as that might be, in my children's lives. My kids are now 6.5 and almost 2, and my almost 2-year-old son is an infertility miracle. My husband and I tried for so long to have our baby. So much time, so much emotion involved behind that once I was finally blessed with him and I had my daughter and I had my son, I just wanted to soak up every moment. Like, I can't get enough of those kids. And I wanted freedom. I didn't want to have somebody else have a 9-to-5 job that was controlling our schedule. I wanted freedom financially to be able to travel, to be able to contribute to the family, to the bills, to pay off debt, because infertility is not cheap at all. And mostly I just wanted to be able to like indulge and splurge on those little things that we wouldn't be able to afford otherwise. So I have been coaching now for 18 months. And as Jess spoke at the very start of the night about the pacing of coaches, I've been a slower paced kind of gal. I do work a full-time job like a lot of the coaches here. However, my full-time job is a work from home job. So I kind of had, maybe it's the best of both worlds. I did get to see my kids during the day, but I didn't get that quality time with just them that I was so desperately wanting. So I just started at a pace that was comfortable for me to be putting in enough work to be doing something with my business, but without, I don't know, just full on sprinting. I did not have like the immediate success like everybody has mentioned. This isn't some sort of get rich quick scheme. But when I found that I was very consistent, Chelsea mentioned the power hour, devoting 1 hour, just this 1 hour of my day. That's all I was doing. I think now maybe I average between like 5 and 8 hours a week is the work that I'm putting into this. And I have finally hit this wonderful milestone in my business. So my drum roll moment here, this isn't a rank thing or a huge paycheck. For me, it's like the biggest gift though that I could receive in this, that I get to take this summer off from my full-time job. I get to do my coaching, but I get to have 3 full months with my family, with my kids, no other work commitments, because my Beachbody income, because I took a leap of faith with this opportunity, and it is now providing me with the substantial enough income to be able to enjoy this summer. And my kids, mostly my daughter, but my kids are making, all these plans of things that we're going to get to do. And I'm so excited to be able to roll out of bed when we feel like it, and to enjoy the beach days when the weather's nice, or PJ days when the weather is rainy, and to just have that complete freedom to do what we want. And I know, 3 months is just the start for me. I hope that this becomes the full-time thing, maybe down the road. I do love my day job though. So I might be one of those coaches that does this and the day job as well. But my future, I'm excited for what's to come. And it's unknown to me at this point. God's got the plan. But to me, I'm just enjoying each moment of it and seeing what becomes of it. I'm so grateful every day that I took the leap of faith to give this coach life a try. And I want to close then by asking you to go back to your why. Think of it again in your head. And I question you, or I encourage you to think about this question. Sorry, my cat came over and I'm like all distracted by him now. Is your current lifestyle completely fulfilling your dream? Is what you're doing right now every day getting you closer to living out your why? If yes, then that's great. And I'm so excited for you. If your answer is no, or maybe just anything less than like 100% yes, you're totally satisfied, then I want you to think about what you can do to make it change, because nothing is going to change unless you change. And all the coaches here have got your back. We are all here to hold your hands however fast you're ready to run with this. And we're all about change. So you're in the right place, and we're glad you're here. Thank you for having me, letting me share.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys, it is so cool to see kind of the different backgrounds of everybody, like Jess mentioned at the beginning. And everyone has that different why, or that different thing that is going to push them to get a little uncomfortable with some of these things. And for me, it was my baby was 3 months old, and my husband and I had agreed on I could be home for 4 months, and after that I needed to find something else. And so at 3 months I was literally watching an infomercial and saw the 21-day fix. I was like, okay, I have a post-mom or post-baby bod that I wanted to tone up and feel healthy and fit again. And I need some work. And so I know there's like this coaching thing attached to Beachbody. So it was like the infomercial of divine intervention for me. And so I started just wanting to make our ends meet. And over time, I got this bigger picture of what Beachbody Coaching could do for my family. And my husband is also a police officer, and Annika's right, they don't make a ton of money, and there's also not a lot of room for additional income. And so my income needed to make our ends meet. And over the course of the last almost 2 years, it's been pretty incredible to me what that has meant. Consistent action over the last 2 years of personally growing, holding myself accountable to my own health and fitness goals. Does that mean that I don't have a margarita and some nachos on occasion? No, because that we are all about balance. But staying on track for my own health and fitness, connecting with people and inviting them into this awesome community that we have. And those simple things over time create something that I am super proud of, and I am really excited for what the future holds for us, really changing that that financial future for our family. So I want to share the screenshot, and then we'll ask some questions. Okay, so there's a quote. It says, if you don't make an impact, you don't deserve a check. And that is completely on point with who we are as a team. If you're not helping people, and if you are not impacting the lives of your challengers and your coaches and those around you for the better, then you really don't deserve a paycheck. But when you do make an impact and you do help people, some pretty great things can happen in your own life as well. So I just wanted to lay it out for you. Month 1 of my coaching business, which was actually 2 years ago this month, at the end of the month, I was able to pay for my challenge pack and 1 week of my family's groceries. By month 4, I was paying for our school loans. We went to a private university, so our school loans are, I think, bigger than some, but they're not astronomical. So I'm not talking like $10,000 a month here or anything. But our school loans and our cell phone bill, to take those kinds of things off the plate of my husband's income was extremely helpful and gave us, some breath, some space in our budget that we prior to that did not have. By month 7, I was paying for our school loans, cell phone bill, and 2 weeks out of the 4 of groceries for the month. Month 10, I was paying for school loans, our cell phone bill, 2 weeks of groceries, and Mama got a mani and pedi, because that wasn't in the budget before. By month 13, I was able to pay for our home mortgage, 1 week and 1 week of groceries. Month 16, we got new deck furniture, got the school loans paid for, and the whole month of groceries. Month 19, this was really fun. We just got back from this trip. I was able to surprise my husband with a trip to Arizona with friends and buy the 4 of us air church tickets. Month 22, our home mortgage, school loans, and the whole month of grocery bills. And in this month 24, I'm on track to be paying for our mortgage 2 times. So that when I started, just a mom who wanted to feel better about herself and make our ends meet, flash forward to 2 years, being able to double our home mortgage and what I bring in while I'm home it's an indescribable blessing to my family. So we want to open up with questions, you guys. What do you want to know? What puzzles you still? What hesitations are sitting at the back of your head? Because I promise we all have had them at one point or another, and it won't be news to us. So you can either type it in the chat box below or just unmute yourself and ask the question.
And while you guys are doing that, I have a question. Kind of
Great.
Can you raise your hand if you are a coach and you've lost 10 or more pounds? Just raise your hand. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see not the speaker view, but the view of everybody. That is awesome. I think it goes to show that you do not have to have everything all together when you start to coach. A part of it is just being on this journey, being a part of it. I know for me, when I started coaching, I had lost about 20 pounds, but I went on to lose 56. So it was definitely a journey, and I had about 50 pounds to lose. So it's not like I was at my goal weight when I started coaching. Sometimes you hear from people that they're like, well, good job, buddy. He went potty. Good job. Sometimes you'll hear from people, that's my why, Amber. Sometimes you'll hear from people that they feel like they need to be completely in the best shape of their lives in order to coach. And guys, like, that's just not real. You know, like, people are looking for somebody that they can connect with and relate to. And sometimes that is, you know, the person that doesn't quite have it all together, but they're showing progress. So just wanted to add that in.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, you guys? We don't have to make it too late, but we want to be able to be here for you. I think the girls did an amazing job sharing great content. But yeah, if you guys have questions too, you can always ask your coach.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being on. I did mention that a lot of us are people of faith, and so a lot of times we'll end our team calls with prayer. And so if that is not your thing, you can go ahead and just click leave meeting at the bottom of your screen. But I would like to pray for everyone on, just to close us out. So no hard feelings if you have to go. But God, I just thank you for each person here tonight. And I thank you for the fact that they represent a circle around them, whether it's their family or their friends, or a community that they are a part of. God, I just pray that you would use them to impact those around them, whether it's through Beachbody Coaching or not. God, I just pray that you would use each of us as a light for you that would bring joy and peace and your love to those people around each person here. God, I pray that you would lay on the hearts of those who are supposed to jump into this coaching thing, that you would just make it clear to them, that they would have a sense of peace. God, that you would just give them the tools and the resources that they need to create an income that they need, or create an accountability setup that they need, or emotional support or spiritual support, whatever it might be. I pray that you would provide those resources. God, I pray that you would bless each of us as we go on with our night and into our weeks, and be with us. Amen. Thank you, guys. We are so happy to have all of you, and please don't hesitate to ask questions with your coach, okay? So have a great night.